Hi everyone, so I wanted to do a video regarding how to do well in college, or at least what I found works for me, because I do think it is a huge transition going from high school to college, and I just wanted to give some insight because it can be really scary, or actually not scary, but it can be intimidating, and it's nice to have some advice. So the first thing that I recommend, or that's very important to know, is that high school is not the same as college. You are not in Kansas anymore, sorry. Have to just make that reference, but basically it's a different thing. In high school, honestly, for me, I really didn't have to try, which it sounds really bad, but all you had to do is just do the work and you get an A, basically. I don't know if that's like every high school, but that's how my high school was, which some of my teachers might get mad at me saying, but it's the truth. And then when I moved to college, different story entirely. I had to study all the time and I didn't feel like it would pay off as much. And it was very intimidating. I was in an engineering major, so yeah, not the easiest thing in the world. But what I found to be essential is that first you have to have confidence in yourself. I think that is a major part of it. If you don't think that you can do well, then you most likely won't. You have to believe that you're capable of doing well. So that's my first thing. The second thing is you have to give yourself a reason to be confident. You can't just go into a test and be like, well, I'm totally gonna rock this test, but I didn't study at all for it, so I'm gonna just beast it. No, that's not how it works. You have to study, and I don't think that you can just spend 50 hours studying and you'll do well. I think it's also how effectively you study, and that will take time. So I think also a thing to remember is that college is a learning experience and you might not get it right the first semester, quarter, whatever system you're on. It might take some time. And that, I think, is okay. As long as you're trying, I think that you making an effort is a bigger deal than you just like getting it right off the bat. I don't think I got it right off the bat. I would spend countless hours just studying and not really studying effectively. I found out that I don't do well in group studies. I can have at max like one person next to me to study with, and that's about it. Otherwise, I can't focus. I don't think it's as effective, but I know there are other people who can do well in big study groups. So you have to figure out what's best for you. For me, I can only have one other person that I felt was on the same level as me, and we could challenge each other and question each other. One thing that I found really essential for my studying habits is that I would listen to each lecture a second time. At my school they had this, they would record the lectures for you, which is super convenient. If your school does not provide you with that, just bring a recorder with you, or you know what, they have cell phones apps that do it. Evernote, I believe, does it. I'm sure there's some iPhone app or Android app that also does it. I just know of Evernote, which will sync it up with all your devices. So long as you have the Evernote account on it, you're set. And I would just recommend doing that. Listening to the lecture a second time is super convenient. You can like listen to things that you might have missed. I don't think it's efficient for every kind of lecture. I do know there are some kind of lectures that it's just not as effective, that maybe lecture isn't as important anyways, or it's just like the notes that they give you are the most important, so maybe that's not the best idea, but I do think for a lot of lectures, just being able to listen to it a second time is effective. And I'm not just listening to the lecture, I'm also writing down my notes a second time. So the first time I usually would type out my notes because they wouldn't give me the notes beforehand, or the PDF, so I would type out my notes, and then the second time I would have the printout of the slides that they provide us, and then I'd write on those. And that's basically what I'd actually study with. The first time in lecture was just to make sure that I was paying attention, taking good notes. So that super helped. And then if I wasn't re-listening to the lecture, I was rewriting the lecture. And every week I would make a study guide based off of the material that I learned for each class. And I found that to be super helpful because I could pick out what I thought was important, what wasn't important. I would figure out what I didn't completely understand, and then I could go back and learn about that better, or listen to the lecture recording. So those are techniques that I personally found helpful. Yeah, that's about it. Making sure, also don't have your phone on you. I've been bad with that lately, but do not have your phone on you while you're studying. It's completely ineffective. I don't think it's worth it. Also, having the internet kind of sucks too at times. Self-control, basically self-control, and focus. You can also like study while you're working out. I do that sometimes. I don't know how effective it is, but if you're like crammed and you really just want to work out. Also, working out, I do have to say that though. You really do have to be working out to keep your brain focused and alert, and eating healthy also makes a big deal. You can't be eating garbage. You're not going to focus as well because your body's going to be upset. So keep your body in the best shape possible because that'll allow you to be better at, you know, focusing. Get good sleep. I cannot stay awake in lectures if I did not get enough sleep. That's super essential. And yeah, just, I think my point of having confidence and giving a reason to yourself to have that confidence is super important. So if you go into a test and you believe that you can actually do well and you actually know that you've studied hard, I think that that definitely will help. And at one point I was just studying hard and not having any confidence, and other times I had perfect confidence but I didn't really have a reason to be confident. So I think the combination of the two is super important. If you guys want to know more about how I specifically studied, let me know and I can write down further about what I specifically do. Not gonna say like I have perfect grades, but I've definitely improved in my opinion. So I can tell you what I felt like before was my weakness and my strengths, and afterwards I started doing well. So let me know if that's something that you guys would want. Besides that, just stay strong. College is hard, but go out and enjoy your life sometimes. I think if you're always studying, you're going to miss out on life, and you might go look back and be upset that you didn't do some things. I don't think that you should go out and be a party animal. I don't think you should be always in the library, but I do think finding a balance that works for you is very essential as well, because you also need to keep your brain happy. So do things that make you happy, and that'll hopefully allow you to have a better functioning brain. Hopefully I get to learn about how happiness affects your learning. I'm pretty sure it probably has some effect. So yeah, thanks for watching.